Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos confers Oman Civil Order 3rd Class on Chairman of Oman Football Association and Order of Merit 1st Class on Oman National Football Team Coach. A seminar on the life of late scholar Sheikh Saeed bin Khalaf al-Kharousi is held in Sultan Qaboos University. The Ministry of Oil and Gas stresses that a number of companies show interest in oil and gas exploration at some new concession areas in the Sultanate. And the Sultanate and the European Union discussed in Muscat on exempting Sultan citizens from obtaining the Schengen visa. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos confers Oman Civil Order 3rd Class on Salim bin Saeed al-Wahabi, Chairman of Oman Football Association, and Order of Merit 1st Class on Pim Verbeek, Oman National Football Team Coach, in recognition to their efforts during the 23rd Arab Gulf Football Tournament in the state of Kuwait, in which the team won the cup. They were handed over by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud al-Busaidi, Minister of Diwan of Royal Court, when he received them in his office this morning. It was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed al-Marzouf, al-Saadi, Minister of Sport Affairs. A seminar was held in Sultan Qaboos University on the life of late scholar Sheikh Saeed bin Khalaf al-Kharousi. The seminar was organized by the Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs, and it was presided over by His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq al-Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan. It included discussion sessions, a number of his works in literature, jurisprudence, and scientific fields. His books are known to be rich in terms of poetry, iftah issues, religious messages, and he also documented his journey during the past. It was educated by the number of well-known scholars in the Omani history, and he left behind a number of sources for researchers of jurisprudence and related fields. The Sultanate will host the 7th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Committee of OPEC and non-member producers during the 21st of January 2018. This was stated by His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Ofi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas. He also pointed out that a number of companies expressed their interest to explore oil and gas in some new concession zones in the Sultanate. During a session of consultation held at the premises of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Muscat, the Sultanate and the European Union discussed the issues of exempting citizens of the Sultanate from the visa to visit Schengen countries, which include 26 European countries, to allow movement freely. The Omani side was presided over by His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Hamad bin Awad Al Hassan, charged d'affaires in the Foreign Ministry for Diplomatic Affairs, whereas at the European side it was chaired by His Excellency Machiavel Chervoni, head of the EU delegation to GCC countries. Works of the 3rd stage of Government Competencies Program were launched in the Governorate of Muscat. The program is implemented by the Ministry of Civil Service to enhance national capabilities so as to face challenges and works environment and the community. The 3rd stage was entitled Administrative Strategy in Focus on Government Innovations, Importance of Strategic Planning and Ways to Develop it. The program activities included lectures on ways to enhance the thinking of leaders and their leadership skills, as well as decision-making, in addition to organizing meetings among participants and leaders of various institutions. It also witnessed field visits to a number of public and private institutions to provide the participants knowledge and expertise required to become good leaders. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Sultanate marks Omani Environment Day in support of the efforts exerted to protect and preserve the environment and its natural resources. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Syrian monitoring group and paramedics in the northwestern city of Idlib today said the death toll from a massive car bombing the previous evening has risen to at least 25. They said nearly 100 people were wounded. The Syrian civil defense, known as White Helmets, said 4 children and 11 women were among the 25 killed. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights gave a higher number of dead, saying that 34 people were killed, including 18 civilians. The last night's bombing targeted the office of Ajnad al-Khoukhas, a militant group consisting of foreign fighters, mostly from the Caucasus and the Russia. Idlib is the capital of province by the same name that is controlled by several rebel factions, including an Al-Qaeda-linked group. Fierce fighting were reported between the Syrian army and opposition groups of Jaish al-Islam in the Harasta neighborhood near Damascus. The Syrian army broke through rebel lines yesterday to reach soldiers trapped in the Murakabat vehicle base near Harasta. In the eastern Ghouta suburbs of Damascus, rebels surrounded the base 8 days ago, trapping an unknown number of soldiers. According to the observatory, 159 rebels and government soldiers have been killed in fighting over the base since December 29. Meanwhile, Syrian military has recaptured a strategically important town in the northwestern province of Idlib in its latest advance into rebel-held territory this year. The gain on Sinjar opens the road for government troops to march on the rebel-held Abu Zuhur air base about 19 kilometers to the north. Malaysia's opposition alliance has named 92-year-old former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad as its candidate for Prime Minister in forthcoming general election in a bid to boost its chances of wresting power from a coalition that has ruled since independence. The announcement by the four-party HOP alliance put an end to squabbling over the thorny issue and is seen as a major show of unity ahead of polls that must be held August by a widely expected in the second quarter. Prime Minister Najib Razak has clung into power despite an epic corruption scandal that involved hundreds of millions of dollars passing through his bank accounts. Supporting for his ruling National Front coalition has dwindled in the last 2 elections. In 2013, the coalition lost the national popular vote for the first time to the opposition. French President Emmanuel Macron today met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing, joined by their wives Brigitte Macron and Peng Liyuan. On the first day of his official visit, Macron appealed to Chinese leaders to form a partnership on climate change and African development. Macron is also expected to press Beijing for better market access. China is France's biggest Asian trading partner, but put French side reported a €30 billion trade deficit last year. European leaders increasingly are pressing China, the most closed major economy, for more reciprocity for response in frustration among labor unions and business groups about mounting Chinese competition. The two governments are expected to announce a Franco-Chinese investment fund on more than €1 billion. 86 migrants arrived in the Italian port of Catania today following a rescue mission by the Italian Coast Guards. The migrants were rescued on Saturday after smugglers' rubber dinghy started sinking in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Libya. 8 bodies were also brought ashore, and a search is ongoing to find any more possible survivors. The Coast Guard said there was no confirmation of a statement by Libyan authorities that at least 25 migrants had died. The Italian Coast Guard, which coordinates rescues in international waters off Libya's coast, said the aircraft on patrol for European anti-smuggling operation spotted that dinghy, which was a difficulty on Saturday morning. The Italian relief mission of the Order of Malta provided medical assistance to those rescued, excluding the 8 who lost their lives. A staff doctor said general coalition of the survivors was okay. All 8 victims were female. Now for some more local news. Petroleum Development Oman (PDO) celebrated today the Oman Environment Day with high-level profile event at the company's Mina Al Fahal headquarters in Muscat. The event was held under the auspices of His Excellency Salim bin Nasser Al Ofi, Under Secretary of Ministry of Oil and Gas. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan Al Rahbi has more details in the following report.
To mark the Omani Environment Day, which falls on January 8th each year, PDO held a ceremony emphasizing on the great role played by the Sultanate in preserving and caring for the environment.
It's a very exciting day. You can see the buzz all around. You know, there's major commitment. It feels good. It's the right thing to do. And we're not talking about it, we're doing it. So we've got agreements with the National Research Conservation Unit of the Royal Diwan. We've got engagements with various suppliers to look at energy efficiency, technologies that will help make a difference. We've just gone through the turbines that are capturing flared gas into power. We have got the expansion of the Glass Point unit that is going to be one of the largest solar plants in the world. We're going to go out for an RFP for 100 megawatts by the end of this month to install PV cells, probably in the Amman area.
The program included the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding, launching of Istidama, Sustainability, and PDO's new energy management campaign, which is dedicated to building a positive environmental culture across Oman by focusing on 6 main pillars: renewable energy, people, energy efficiency, environment, energy saving, and economy.
Within PDO, we've developed an integrated environmental strategy and action plan starting from 2015 up to 2020. And this plan, it addresses all the environmental challenges in relation to the oil and gas industry, and it focuses on the key aspects of environmental protection, whether it's water conservation or energy efficiency or energy conservation, and waste management as well as water management.
The celebration also included announcing the winners of the Best Environmental Initiative Award, which was organized by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs in collaboration with PDO. The award aimed at highlighting the role of companies in serving the environment and creating a sense of shared responsibility towards environment conservation.
Yeah, it is an achievement. We feel successful, and it's mean a lot for us, encouraging the company to work harder and give more to the environment.
We are so happy to win this award, and I am really proud with ourselves, and also it is a great achievement we added to our company.
The event was concluded with a tour around PDO's green energy initiatives, highlighting a range of environmental projects and achievements within the company. The endeavor will inspire further collaborative initiatives to preserve the environment via the use of different forms of renewable energy to achieve sustainability. For the Sultanate of Oman Television English News, Salih bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The Governorate of Dhofar also celebrated the Omani Environment Day. More details in the following report by Sultan Al-Sarai.
The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs, celebrates the Omani Environment Day, which falls on January 8th each year. The celebration under the theme Sustainable Clean Environment is held at Sultan Qaboos Youth Cultural and Entertainment Complex in Salalah and includes an operetta with a variety of traditional Omani arts and plays, as well as a scientific symposium on the environment and an awareness exhibition. It also includes several programs and activities, including cleaning campaigns for beaches, coral reefs and valleys in the Governorate of Dhofar, and cultivating a range of wild and local plants, as well as awareness programs for children. The celebration of the Omani Environment Day continues until the end of January to raise awareness of the importance of protecting the environment and preserving its natural resources.
Reviewing the bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and Russia was the main aspect discussed at the meeting held between His Excellency Syed Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud Al Busaidi, Minister of Diwan of Royal Court, and His Excellency Dr. Anwar Bek Fadilia, Nov-Russian Ambassador accredited to the Sultanate, to bid the farewell on the end of his duties as an ambassador to the Sultanate. He expressed his thanks for the operation he received during the mission, which enabled him to carry out his duties. On his turn, the Minister of Diwan of Royal Court thanked the ambassador for his good efforts, which contributed in boosting the relation between the Sultanate and Russia, and wished him success. Within activities of the Royal Oman Police Annual Day celebration, His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsin Al-Sharaiki, Inspector General of Police and Customs, pinned medals of long service and good conduct to a number of officers at Royal Oman Police and the Public Authority for Civil Defence and Ambulance. He also handed over academic certificates to the graduating officers and honored the supervising and training staff and others who have completed more than 25 years in service in appreciation to their continuous efforts to serve the country. Discussing points of view on a number of issues of mutual concern between the Sultanate and the United States of America were the main aspect discussed at the meeting between Commodore Saeed bin Abdullah Al-Saadi, Deputy Commander of Royal Navy of Oman, and Rear Admiral Robert Sharp, Commander of the U.S. Naval Intelligence Office, and his delegation. The two sides also exchanged cordial talks. Coinciding with the Sultanate's celebration of the World Literacy Day, the Ministry of Education will implement in the next period a project for private sector literate. This year's celebration focused on a topic related to literacy in digital world. The Ministry of Education seeks to keep up with the global updates in literacy programs, as well as renew the study curricula, teaching methods, and educational means. The number of the Sultanate's visitors through cruise ships reached 780,000 until the month of November 2017. According to data issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information, the German visitors came the first, followed by British, American, then Canadian visitors. The Sultanate is working to prepare a number of ports and maritime facilities to keep up with development in such kind of tourism. One of the top projects which the Sultanate is developing is Port Sultan Qaboos to be multiple-use seafront, which will diversify income sources. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of Sea of Oman and Governorate of Musandam, with chances of scattered rain over Hajar Mountains. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters. This is the Sultan of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos confers Oman Civil Order 3rd Class on Chairman of Oman Football Association and Order of Merit 1st Class on Oman National Football Team coach. A seminar on the life of late scholar Sheikh Saeed bin Khalif al-Kharousi is held in Sultan Qaboos University. The Ministry of Oil and Gas stresses that a number of companies show interest in oil and gas exploration at some new concession areas in the Sultanate. And the Sultanate and the European Union discuss in Muscat on exempting Sultan citizens from obtaining the Schengen visa. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.